Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm.
Okay, I'm stuck in an airport. I guess I have to take a lot of drinks today so I can take off this bloody mask. But anyways, if you can hear me, if I'm not too muffled, we're going to be talking about the importance of not only live events, but what are some of the trends that are happening in Amazon right now? And we're going to talk a little bit about exiting. So a little bit of everything. It's a blend today. And also, I have one of my favorite people on, Lillian Roberts. She's been on the podcast twice before. And well, no, she's been on the other podcast. I know this guy, which if you haven't listened to, you should. It's an incredible interview, if I don't say so myself. And she's also been on Lunch with Norm before. But before I get into that, I just want to thank our sponsor, Global Wired Advisors, who is a leading digital investment bank focused on optimizing the business process, sales process. For more information, contact Chris and his team over at globalwiredadvisors.com. All right, Kelsey, where are you?
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to today's show.
Hey,
You're
buddy.
looking great. Hey,
I'm seeing you soon.
Yeah. Actually, I'm coming back this weekend.
Woo!
There's that smile. All right, so welcome back everyone. Welcome to the show. Yeah, put that mask back on.
I'm putting it back on.
All right, welcome Twilight Action. Coming from Cameroon today, also Jessica Rabbit, aka Roslyn is here. She is just a member of our Patreon, which we just had a great discussion the other day, talking about a whole bunch of different things. But anyways, if you're interested, join our Facebook group. That is Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and e-commerce collective. I am noticing that our StreamYard, the platform that we have, isn't allowing us to connect to the Facebook page, but our Facebook group and YouTube and LinkedIn are still good to go. So apologies if you guys are late to the show, but there's an error going on with our platform. But the show must go on, and we're going to have a great show today with Lil. It's always a pleasure seeing her. And yeah, I think that's everything. A bit more about our Patreon. It is our bonus area. It's our paid membership program. So if you are interested in some small group discussions, Q&As with Norm and I, or guest lessons, free services, we got discounts going on there. You can join that. You just go to lunchwithnorm.com and press that little paid membership button on the top there, and you should be good to go. But welcome, Victor, Simon, Mark. Welcome, Joe. It's great to see everyone. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things today. So if you guys have any questions about a certain topic, just throw them on over in the comment section, and we'd love to hear from you. Also, how's your week going? Let us know in the comment section where you're watching from. We always love to find that out too. But
it's great to see that Victor has put his name to Gizmo.
Yes, Victor Gizmo.
Now we know who he is. Okay,
exactly.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yep, and you too, Simon. Yeah, what's up, beardos?
Yeah, he's
good.
asking if you've had a terrible shaving accident.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
No, I gotta play the system. So when I ask the question, all right, Lil, what about this? Then I gotta put the bloody thing back on. So, oh shoot, now the earphone goes out. This is live.
This is classic Lunch with Norm style.
Totally.
Yes. For those asking, Norm is at an airport today, so he's been traveling the past 2 weeks. So we promise Friday we're going to be back on schedule. We're going to be in our studios, and everything will be back to normal. But today is just going to be a little fun. Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
There, stretch out this bloody thing. All right, we're set. We're ready to go.
All right. So if you're enjoying today's little intro here, smash those like buttons. Share it with your friends. It's going to be a fun episode, I can already tell. But, yeah.
Thank you, Kelsey. All right. Questions over in the comment section. We will get to them. Now, Kelsey, slowly move off the screen. There we go. Sit back, relax, get that cup of coffee, and enjoy the show. And by the way, today, especially today, if you're wearing a mask, don't forget to take the mask off before you drink. Just saying. Just saying. It's going to happen. Oh, come on.
Hey, Norm.
How are you, Lil?
It's awesome. Great to see you. Great to see you. I've been fortunate to get to see you, twice in the last 2 weeks. So
Well,
love
three times. We went out and we had a bit of a party last night, which was
it.
cool.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, so I saw you in Vegas and then in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So, in case people don't know who you are, and I'm sure everybody does, but just in case, can you just give us a little bit of background on you and what you do?
Yeah, you bet. Lil Roberts, CEO and founder of Xendoo. Xendoo is an online bookkeeping and accounting platform, and we specialize in e-com, right? And beyond that, I'm just a serial entrepreneur, like yourself, and
No?
just love business, love to build businesses and teams, love tech, and just having a great time.
Awesome. Now, I'm realizing I cannot control my mask. My glasses are steaming up, and I can't read the bloody questions I have. Oh, gosh.
Can
Okay,
you take the mask off? Are you in the
I
lounge?
am. When you know what? Here we go. So I'm in the lounge. You can't take it off. But when I ask your question, it's going to be, hey, Lil, why are live events so important? Now I have to put it back on.
I got you. All right. So why are live events so important? Because you know what? There's certain
Ah,
dynamic things that happen that you're only going to get in a live event, right? And I got to tell you, we spent time at Prosper, and there was what 2,000 people out there, I guess,
oh, yeah.
and
Yep.
there was so much business conducted that wouldn't have happened. Here's what happens at a live event. You and I are sitting there talking to each other. Somebody walks by that you think would be a good connection for me. And you go, hey, so-and-so, I want you to meet Lil, my friend, blah, blah, blah. Right? Same thing. I see somebody that I think would be great for them to get to know you. You grab them and you do that. You can't do that on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
You have to do that at a live event.
But you know what I'm going to get used to it. But you know what I really like is being able to break bread. So we met at a party of mutual friends, and we sat beside each other and we started talking. We got to know each other, and it was like, oh shit, but you have this in common. I have this in common. Let's put the pieces together,
Yeah.
get together, and from them we've been friends, business associates for a few years.
Yeah.
That's what I love about live events. The everything non-business. And I love the nonverbal communication, sitting down when you're talking and getting introduced to somebody, that human element that whether this is going to be a good deal or a bad deal for you,
It's that vibrational feeling that we
isn't
feel
it?
when we're with our tribe. And our
Right.
tribe is just anybody that we share like-minded, whether it's heartfelt or intellectual or anything. You get that, and you're 100% right. You get that in person. And look, we got to break bread last night because we're celebrating Colin, our very
Yeah.
dear friend, who just sold .club to GoDaddy, and him and his phenomenal team, right, with Michelle and the whole team there, and Jeff. So it was a great night. But you're absolutely right. I will say this, Norm. I think that you have to do live events with safety. I think that you still need to adhere and respect people's personal space and
Yes.
and mask and things along those lines.
Everything we did not do in Vegas.
You said it, not me, but yes, you know, Vegas was just a great time, right? And
Yeah.
and you're out there, and there's so much business happening, and I think people were so happy to be together. But while the loud music's playing, cocktails are happening, and all that viral transmission is happening there. So yeah, I think it's important to be safe, right?
Yeah.
Open air.
And the other thing I just love Simon's comment, getting drunk on Zoom is just not the same. I've got to agree with you there, Simon. But excuse me. The other thing you have to be careful of, and like especially, I tell a lot of younger entrepreneurs that are coming up, they've got a little bit of money, they're entrepreneurs, they're risk takers, it's a special breed, and all of a sudden you're doing things and partying, and it gets to a certain extent. These are things, first of all, I tell people, look, you go out and have a great time, but just remember, you're surrounded by these people that could come back and help you, or you could look like a donkey's ass, and say something or do something, which I've been around, and oh my gosh, it's been terrible. And then the other thing is respect. I went to an event pre-COVID, and I mean, it was a fun event, right? So people were just letting loose. All of a sudden, all this stuff, people were live streaming, and very, very, well-respected people in the industry. All of a sudden, it was not in a favorable light.
Oof.
So these are things that there are certain, I'll just say etiquette. There's certain things you do and you don't do, and
Hmm.
and there's business and there's fun time, and definitely you have to respect that. So, and that's one of the things. So one of the other things I tell people, come up, say hi, more than happy, ask a question, but don't ask me 20 questions.
Yeah.
Like write me an email, I'll answer those questions.
Yeah.
But so there's all sorts of little things when you're doing a private event. But what I don't even like if people want to talk business, I don't know how you feel, more than happy to do that. But I am even more happy to talk about personal life, what they like, what's their favorite, food, travel. What
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah, totally. Same. Look back in when, in our younger day when we were all single, I hated it when somebody would come up and say, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" Ask me what I do for fun.
Yeah,
I think that you can learn so much more about somebody when you ask them those questions that are more human, right? To see how they think and what they do and how they spend their time. So, yeah, but Norm, you just brought up a really good point about these younger pups, right? That are entrepreneurs, early entrepreneurs, and I'm seeing it a lot in ecom. It was fascinating to me out at Prosper that the money is starting to come into the ecom space with the aggregators and with the with just the people that are buying them, whether they're a formal aggregator, and there's half a dozen of them, so I don't want to mention the names, so I'll leave that to you. Um, but I'm seeing the ecom, the younger pups that they're just doing a rinse and repeat. They're selling that business, whether they sell it for $500,000 or $1 million, and then they're going on and rinse and repeat, and then just picking another product in the ecom space because they already know the engine.
yeah.
What are you seeing around that?
I'm seeing very similar. So, I mean, you're not outside of the confidentiality, so maybe it's something specific to the niche, but if you already know the secret, you know, to
Yeah,
opening Pandora's box, and I guess that's not a good thing, but to making it, now it's taking that, you've already paid your Amazon tax. I mean, if you're going to pay, for mistakes, it's your first product.
yep,
And then you improve on that process. Maybe you start bringing in SOPs. Maybe you have a better bookkeeper or, a CPA. You don't make those mistakes the second time. And then the third time, it gets that much better. And it's like, you don't have to. I I dropped out of college my last semester, but but I did. Parents didn't like that too much, but I got all my experience from the street, learning, what I did wrong, how many times I got kicked between the legs, and I just realized I'm not going to do that again.
yeah,
And that's what I see people doing. It's just becoming better entrepreneurs, once they sell their product. And some people, it's a legacy.
yeah,
They don't want to sell their product. They've got a great product. They're building a business for their kids.
yeah.
Others are, they can't get rid of them fast enough. And I don't know if you have thoughts on this, but personally, I think that's a mistake. If you're selling, your business at 12 months and you can get huge multiples, after 18 or 24 months, you could already be planning your second, project or your second brand. But why cut out so easy? And a lot of the time, when I look at some aggregators, not all, but you're getting such a low evaluation and an okay deal, okay, that sometimes dollar speaks, right? It just, okay, I'll take it because it's a few extra bucks in my pocket. But if you investigated the market for an extra 18 to 24 months, those zeros would be maybe another extra zero or two.
Yeah, no, totally. And it's very interesting. You hit on a couple of things there. One, you have to understand, what are you building your business for? Are you a multi-generational legacy business? Are you building a pump and dump? Are you building a lifestyle business where you just want it to give you the freedom and the time, but you not necessarily want to grow at a rapid rate? And so I think that I always say to fellow entrepreneurs, it's important to understand what your motivation is, and then to live into that, right? Like, let's take our good friend Colin, for example. Colin loves to start businesses, but he's not going to keep a business 10 years. He's not going to keep it
Right.
8 years. He's going to look to build it, get it to a certain level, and sell it between 5 and 7 years. And he understands that very clearly, and he knows what he loves about the process, and knows when it doesn't, excite him to get up in the morning and go to work. And I think for all people listening, right, these are all phenomenal entrepreneurs that tune into the show. That's one of the things you want to do. Think about it, put your electronics away and really think about it. What is the purpose of what you're building, and what do you love about what you're building? What stage? Then the second part of it is, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of little things that go into getting the best exit for your business, and you touched on one, right? Have your bookkeeping up to date, because if your numbers are up to date and you understand your numbers, you have the historic. Like, we're working with a couple of companies now from meeting them at Prosper, that they want us to go back to the people that they're representing, that they're selling their businesses, and they want us to do the catch up. And, and we can do that, no problem. But that's a tough place to be in your business when your books aren't always ready, because there's a saying, right? Are you not prepared, or always prepared? And the people who are always prepared in life across the board are the ones that do better, because they're able to be nimble to take advantage of opportunities like that. The other piece of it is not only is the bookkeeping important in the e-com business, but what you offer, what you do for brands by getting them up and running faster, and then putting them on that run rate faster. It's important, because if they want to get out in 18 months, they need to show great history of constant growth, right? Or it may cost them another 6 months or 12 months past that to be 2.5 years before they sell. And they could shorten that by utilizing what you do for e-com sellers, because you put them on fire.
Right. Yep. And it's trying to explain that to a lot of brands is tough. I mean, a lot of people want to do it themselves. A lot of people worry about certain costs, but they don't realize that, like, at the end of the day, the payday is where you make your money. Like, at the exit, it's where you make your money. And I got to laugh. I saw something here. I think, it was Victor. Yeah, I still belong to the expensive mistake of the week club. So, and you know what? Expensive mistake of the week.club is available. No, just saying, Victor. There you go. Yeah. But let's touch on what if you're planning on exiting. Okay, so let's talk about the next year to 18 months. What can people do outside of their bookkeeping? Because first of all, I've got a question about, should we keep everything together? And we'll get to that in a sec. But what else can people do to build that evaluation, to optimize the evaluation when, either private equity or these aggregators are looking at these companies?
So, it's interesting you say that, because I get the great opportunity to talk to some of our customers on occasion, and that's one of the things I love about the business, is that you get, it's all incredible small business owners across America and in other countries. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're a $20 million business. Actually, it was yesterday. And they told me that what they're doing right now is they're trimming out the bad SKUs or the underperformers. And right. So, when you say, what can people do to focus on, in life, it's always, the saying, drive for show and putt for dough, right? It's always the little details. And the little details are what's going to get you much further faster. And those little details are, look at your inventory. What's not moving, blow it out. Don't think, I don't want to take a loss on that inventory. just get it out of there, because it's sitting on your balance sheet as inventory, and it's dead inventory, and it's not turning and not making you any money. And if you've got, $50,000 in bad SKUs that you think, oh, that may come back and maybe I'll sell those, it's not worth it. Even if you sell it off for $30,000, you just freed up $30,000 to go buy new inventory that's current and relevant that now could become $70,000, $80,000. And I think that people's natural mindsets are that they don't want to do that, right? That's why storage facilities across America make a ton of money, because if people added up how much, this is off topic, but if people added up how much that's sitting in their storage facility that they're paying month in and month out for, they could have donated that stuff to somebody that could use it, and they could buy it new, right? When they needed it. So I think that's a big thing you have to do in your business. What are the other little things? Hire the very best you can when it's an area that's not your wheelhouse. Don't try to take your time to learn everything about everything, right? It doesn't serve you, and it doesn't serve your business. If accounting is not your area, hire us or somebody like us. If marketing and getting great reviews is not your area and not going to build the business, hire Norm. If not fulfilling yourself by, if fulfillment is going to be better suited by having FBA, do FBA. So I think it's the mindset of that. I'll stop there for your.
No, that's great. I think there's lots of different things that you can do, but I think you've touched on some of the major ones. Even when you're looking at bookkeeping, and I think you kind of pick on me because I'm a little too detailed. I digitize every piece of paper. Like after I get home, I scan this, I send it over the bookkeeper, they upload it, and I've got it also on my Google Drive, so I can sort if I wanted to see, if I paid for something. I mean, I am crazy when it comes to that. And you keep telling me, you're crazy. Don't do that. You don't need to do that anymore.
No listener should do that. No listener should do that.
Yeah,
today.
No. But this old bearded one, yeah, you can't teach this one a new trick. I just have to do it.
Your spice drawer is probably alphabetized.
I do. You know what? If you want it, and this is serious, I learned a long time ago about a filing system that really it takes control of mayhem. Okay? There's no order to it. And it's called the Paper Tiger.
Really?
And yep. And it's not alphabetical. It's as something comes in, you throw it in the filing drawer. And you add it, like you can add it to your database. And so I know, like, my wife drives me crazy because she says, this is so ridiculous the way that you file. Okay, give me something from 2016 that came in from immigration. I could type it in and go, oh, here it is right here. And if you haven't, we should do something on the Paper Tiger, Kels, but check it out. It is crazy. And this is what I've been doing for all of my filing, all of my paper filing, and they also have a digitized version of it. And it is thepapertiger.com. Have nothing to do with it. It was a friend of mine that turned me on to it, and I love it. Yeah, and love it. I mean, no more ABCDs and trying to figure out, what was the spelling of that? Nope. And so I can go back and just pick out any file I want. But one of the other things, Lil, we did have a giveaway today. So why don't we tell people about the giveaway from Xendoo?
Yeah, you bet. So we are giving away a free consultation. So we did this when we had a masterclass, right? And it was a half an hour consult, talk about your taxes. And so if somebody reaches out to Kelsey, and we'll go ahead and we'll take care of them.
And if they want to just check out your website, it's just xendoo.com.
X as in xylophone, xendoo.com. And if they want to become a customer, if they say, hey, lunch with Norm, when they sign up, and they'll put the credit card in, and we don't charge it, but then there'll be a area where they can schedule their onboarding. And if they put lunch with Norm, they will get $100 off their second month that they pay.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yep.
So that is hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. If you're interested in a second entry, it would be just tag anybody, and Kelsey will enter you twice.
Perfect.
Now, Kelsey, do we have anything else going on today?
Norm, any questions from the team out there?
Oh, we'll talk about the questions a little bit more towards the end. And if you do have questions, just throw them into the comment section.
Yeah, we are starting to get some questions too, so we'll be good to go. So yeah, just hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, put that in the comment section, and I'll add that to our wheel, and we'll do the giveaway. So excited for that.
Okay, and so if you like to talk about accounting, Amazon accounting, e-commerce accounting, Lil is a specialist. So, and that's a difference too. So I've talked to a lot of accountants, but a lot of accountants, they just have no idea what an Amazon seller goes through. So if you have questions about your Amazon account, your e-commerce account, accounting in general, throw them into the comment section. Now, why? We talked about this the other day, and I didn't realize this, but this is the last time you were on. I have a separate bookkeeper. I have an accountant here in Canada, and then I have a tax consultant. And you said, you're crazy. Again, you always call me crazy.
Sorry about that, Norm.
You should keep it consolidated. And I guess the reasons, why were you telling me that I should keep it consolidated? There were some really good reasons.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So here's what happens. When you have a CPA that you're not in touch with throughout the year, right? You're going to have missed opportunities of ways that you can use the money that you're going to have to pay in taxes and use it to invest in your business. And so when you have it all under one roof, right? And it's different people. So you have somebody who's doing the bookkeeping, right? That should be an accountant that's doing the bookkeeping. We have our in-house, right? They're all 4-year credentialed, and many of them have masters. And so they're doing the monthly bookkeeping. And when you run your business with monthly bookkeeping, that's allowing you to really understand your financial visibility, what's your cash flow like, and it's also allowing you to understand, hey, how much profits do I have, and what am I going to be looking like for a tax bill at the end of the year, and how, instead of paying taxes on that money, can I keep that money and invest it in my business? So I'll give you an easy illustration, okay? So say you're a pizza shop owner, and pizza ovens run about $50,000. So Norm has his pizza shop. He's had a pretty good year, and it is October, and he's made $150,000 in profit on a, call it $1 million in top line sales. And so now he has $150,000 in profit, and he's going to have to pay the government somewhere between 30 and 40% of that, right? So that's going to cost you, you're going to have a tax bill of say $45,000, right? So here you have this money of the $150,000, you've been kind of sequestering it over there to pay your tax bill, which is due April of the following year, March or April. Now your pizza oven just broke down. It's a $5,000 repair, but that darn thing has been repair after repair. Every 6 months, you're throwing $5,000 in it. Well, now by doing monthly bookkeeping and understanding that you have profits, you can take those profits, and now you can buy a new pizza oven for $50,000, Section 179 it, and now that comes right off the top of your profit. So a third of that, $16,000, $17,000 that you would have been paying Uncle Sam, you're now investing in your business. And so that's the same for every business. If you don't understand your profitability all year long, and you don't understand your write-offs all year long, and the only way to understand those is through doing bookkeeping, doing monthly profit and loss and balance sheet. If you don't understand that, then you're not going to be able to really use that money to keep it, to invest in your business. You're just going to be paying Uncle Sam every year.
Well, I've seen, and when we talk to, we both talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, Amazon sellers. If you're getting out, like if you're coming from a different industry and you have never owned a business before, and you're trying to understand your numbers, you might have a false read, just like you said. You don't understand what you can and you can't do. You might think you're really profitable, but you're dead. Like you're dead in the water. You might not understand cash flow and certain things that you can do with your cash flow. If you're trying to do it yourself and you just open up QuickBooks or Zero or whatever, and you're not gonna, it's not a place not to spend money. Does that make sense? You know, you have, that's a good spot. If you want to get the best out of your return, the best out of your business, to kind of know your numbers, even if you don't know them, pay somebody, which is like a person like you, and then you can take a look at your bookkeeper first of all. And I like this consolidating it, because the bookkeeping, the workflow goes from the company to the bookkeeper to the CPA over to a tax consultant, you know, and I think maybe the tax consultant comes in first, but at the
It
end of
should
the
be your
day,
CPA, Norm. You shouldn't have to have a separate tax consultant to your CPA. So the reason to have it all under one roof is because if the bookkeeper has a question about something, or the customer has a question, the bookkeeper can't answer it, they can go and just reach out internally to the CPA. CPA's job is to maximize your tax savings, plain and simple, keep you
right?
compliant and maximize your tax savings.
Yeah, yeah. So it's so important. If you're not doing it because you're thinking you're going to spend 1,000 or two, my gosh, you can save so much money, and you get to understand, at the end of the day, you get to understand your business. And what I found it too is when I'm working with my accountant, I can just call him up and say, you know, hey, Arnold, I got an issue. And he's going to spend a bit of time with me and he's going to say, well, you want to make sure. And I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to charge me. I don't know. But a lot of times I can get on the phone, we can just talk. And where he makes his money is at the end of the year. You
Yeah.
know, okay, I did it. And I'm not sure how your structure is, but there's, you know, and you have to understand too, accountants are paid for their time. So I wouldn't, and Arnold, if you're listening, don't listen, turn it off right now. But if he were to charge me every time he picked up the phone, I'd be okay with that because he's improving my business.
Right. He's doing that. You're probably paying a lot of money for your tax return. So like what we
Yeah,
do, you're probably paying a couple $1,000 for your tax return. What we do is we sell packages that include bookkeeping and tax. So you can call and talk tax anytime, and you can, and then your business tax return is going to be included. But Norm, it's small business owners have a really hard job, right? Entrepreneurs and small business owners have a hard job. You wear a ton of hats.
yeah,
Um, and and I see all too often that people don't get into business thinking about their exit, right? And they work all these tremendous amount of hours, and they're just kind of laundering money. And so what I would say to all the listeners out there, from business owner to business owner, is that make it make it a habit to think about, are you maximizing your profit? Are you running your business in the most efficient way? And are you investing in your business properly? Because a lot of people think, oh, the way to maximize their profit is to not invest in the business, just squeeze every bit of juice out of it, right? But there are areas in your business that you should invest in. And those areas could be different for different people. It could be something like, maybe you need to spend $1,000 a month on R&D of new products, because if you're not thinking about new products, and do it with balance, right? If you're not thinking about new products, you may miss the next great big seller. Take a look, think about your business in terms of, what's my bottom 3 sellers? Should I get rid of them? Right? So you have room now for inventory to have maybe 3 better sellers. And do that all the way through your business. Are you investing properly in your business? Are you taking some downtime to think about your business? And don't fall in love with particular products in your business, because products come and go. Your business is a machine. At Prosper,
right.
we had the opportunity to meet the 20th largest reseller for Amazon. They do $200 million a year. They did it in 10 years. They built it. It was just fascinating to me. And what this gentleman said is, he said, we have a system. And he said, we can plug any product. And you were just saying that a few minutes ago. And he's like, we can plug any product into the system and we can sell it. And that's why, yes, you can sell your business, and then you can go spin up a different e-com business and then build that one for 2 years and then sell that one. And that in itself is a business to do, right?
Right. Yep. No, absolutely agree. Now, I'm just reading some of these. What was the one that Simon said? Profit is not cash.
Let's talk about it.
Agreed.
Yep. 100%.
Okay.
Okay. So, you know, when I was looking for what business did I want to, I left the shoreline wanting to reshape an industry. So I was looking for an analog industry to reshape. And one of the statistics when and it also had to be a pain point I felt in all my businesses. So a disclaimer for everyone. Number one, I didn't go to college. Number two, I'm not a CPA or an accountant. I have a tremendous, unbelievable staff that are phenomenal in their craft, and they're all college educated, credentialed, and all those things. I'm just like everybody on the call today, and you know, just serial entrepreneur, and so one of the statistics is that 92% of people run their business from their bank account. They just look at their bank account to determine if they have money. So Simon's comment, profit is not cash, is 100%, because usually that money is not sitting in your bank account, it's sitting in inventory, and that's where your profit is, or it's sitting in receivables out on the street if you're a different kind of business. But of the 92% of the people that run their business from the bank account, here's a really sad comment. 82%, according to US Bank, 82% of the small business owners who fail, right? 50% fail in the first 2 years. They fail from lack of cash flow, not that they weren't profitable. And because they weren't doing monthly financials, they didn't know that their business was profitable and it just needed more cash. They had too much in receivable inventory. And so they shut the business down. They missed it. That's sad.
Yeah.
So you have to understand your profits. You have to understand your cash flow. You have to understand what are the drivers that play into each of those. And if you're not a profitable business, that's your number one goal, is you got to figure out how are you profitable. That, most people, if I were to say to the audience out there, hey, you want to make 30% profit on a product that you're selling for $100. So how much do you sell it for, right? And if everyone, puts in there, what do they think they sell it for? A big percentage of them are going to say, oh, they'd sell it for $130. Well, $130 is not 30% profit. You have to use a wheel. You have to times $100 times 1.45 or 1.41. I have to get the calculator out. And most people don't understand that. And so they think they're making a certain percentage profit markup, and they're not really making the real markup. So if you take $130 and times that by 0.70, $91 is what you needed to buy that product for. You were leaving $9 of profit on the table. Whereas if you take $145 and times it by 70%, right? That's $101. So they were shortchanging themselves pure profit $9, and they didn't realize it. So, Simon's spot on. Profit is not cash, but understand your profit. Mark your product up properly.
Very good. Now, I got a question from Kels at it, and I'm not sure about this. I don't know if you were talking to him about this earlier, but about crypto. Now, where does crypto and e-com fit together?
Phew. You know what? Actually, I'll tell you what. I was on a show last week, and it was Meltzer, right? David Meltzer. And he has 500,000 small business owner followers podcast. And he is the guy who had the agency of Jerry Maguire, right? Show me the money. So that was his. And so we were on and we got to ask a question. And the question that I asked is, when should small business owners be thinking about accepting crypto? When should they start to think about it? And he's like, now. Because what prompted me to ask that question, Norm, is, and you and I are old enough for this, but you remember when credit cards first came out? Nobody wanted to accept credit cards. It was like, it was scary, not cool. Nobody wanted it. You can't have that mindset. Look, cash is king and we all love cash. But crypto is happening. There is something like 2,600 crypto ATMs in the United States. Did you know that?
I had no idea. I've never seen one.
Yeah, there's 2,600 of them. And I just read that article the other night. You can Google it. And so anyway, Amazon is thinking about accepting crypto, right? So if I have a buddy of mine who has a exotic car dealership, and he called me, I don't know, 6-9 months ago, and he said, "Hey, I have somebody who wants to buy with crypto. You got anyone who will exchange crypto?" I go to Coinbase and sign up a merchant account, and that's what he did. And now he accepts crypto. And what people don't know, this is a tip for crypto people, is that you can save tax because you can transfer your wealth and buy it in crypto, and you don't pay on it, I think, until you sell the car.
I did not know that.
He was telling me there's some and Sotheby's just did a huge diamond deal that was bought with crypto. So Amazon resellers, be thinking about crypto. Soon you'll see Amazon come out with it. You'll see Shopify accept it. You'll see Square accept it. You'll see BigCommerce accept it. Be ready for it. Don't hang on to it. Convert it. I mean, Overstock or Restock, was it Overstock? Overstock kept 50% of their crypto and they kept it in an account and they made a huge win. But, we just lived through crypto going from 60 to 30. It's back up to 40 now. But, do what your appetite is.
Sounds like Kelsey. I tell them every one of the $3 Patreon memberships we get, put it into crypto.
I love it. I love it.
So we have exactly $3 in our crypto account.
Yeah. But as soon as he put it in, it was at 60. It went down to 32. So now he's got $1.50. But hold on to it, Cal. I'm telling you.
Be a hodler. Yeah. So
you'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think the next evolution is? Oh, before we do this question, one other thing. So we've talked about it earlier. If you like what you're hearing today, which is some great information from Lil, #Wheel of Kelsey. She's giving away a free consult. And if you tag 2 people, you will get a second entry. Now, what's the next evolution that you're seeing coming down the pipeline with e-com or e-com sellers?
So what I believe is happening, strictly my opinion, right? So,
Yep.
And I'd love, this would be a great area for people to come on in and put their thoughts. I think that e-com is going through a big evolution right now because there is a consolidation happening. And so what happened, as everything always happens, right? The riskiest people, the people who do the hardest work, go out in the front and they do that. Once they prove it and once everybody sees, oh, this is really working and it's working great, then the professional money comes in. And I think what's happening in e-com is I think that the professional money's coming in, both from private equity, Blackstone is in, Live Nation is aggregating. So there's a lot of these aggregators that are coming in. They're buying up the stores because they know that they can buy a store for 1x, 2x, 3x, and they put a whole big group of them together in a certain product line, and they'll get a 10x out of it. And so they specialize in that. So I think what we're going to see is probably less choices happening, right? I don't know if you agree with that, like less choices of products, right?
Okay.
And you're going to see the middle cut out, right? So you're going to see either the small, or you're going to see these really big stores. I think we're going to start to see a separation. I'm interested in yours.
You know what? I'd go along that, the artisan, so I'm seeing kind of the same thing, that either you're going to be acquired and now it's going to be a much bigger entity, or you're going to have these specialty shops that are coming up with unique, innovative product. Like we talk about the rise of the micro brands. How are they going to, if you're going to do just a Me Too product, like that's what Affalabi says, it's a Me Too product. Where do you go with that? If 10 or 20 or 1,000 people can sell the same thing, okay, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you're an innovator and you know how to market properly, that's, a path that I think is going to happen. And people don't think about, we're thinking about e-commerce all the time, but people don't think about the bricks and mortar stores, the 300,000 small mom and pop stores that are out there in small town USA that would love to have a case of my soap in their store, and they're paying me with their credit card. Like, I'm not talking about receivables, and and I'm making full pop, well, wholesale. That's a marketplace that nobody's really tapping into right now. I think that's the next evolution.
I'm with you because I think what we're going to see happening is that these these aggregators are going to be able to control the listings. And so the people that aren't part of that, unless they have a unique brand, their sales are going to get hurt. And so you have to go out and find other ways. And you hit on it. There's a lot of brick and mortar stores that want to have an e-commerce presence. Go find them and wholesale to them. And
Yeah.
I think somebody should come up with a platform, marketplace, and maybe it's already out there for all of these regular mom and pops to be able to go to a wholesale and be able to have business in a box website with their name on it and an
Yeah.
assortment of products.
Yeah. And there are other, like now that you're looking at, we talked a little bit, I think it was you last night I was talking to about this, about the wholesale market and the whole, no, uh, it was Jeff Sass I was talking to last night. And he was talking about what Paul was doing, going after wholesalers and,
Yeah.
maybe selling 48, pup rugs or 100 pup rugs and not going after the huge, the Walmarts of the world. I'm not talking about Walmart.com. I'm talking
Right.
about the retailers, right?
Right.
And he was quite happy with the success very little hassle. You're not dealing with Amazon, although Amazon is the beast. You got to be on Amazon, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
But there's all these other outlets that people, if you take a little bit of effort, you could be making an extra 10, 20, 30, 40% extra revenue.
Yep.
So
So,
anyways,
so
that's my
the
thought on
next
that.
evolution, and it's wonderful. I think the next evolution is we need to see somebody pop up a marketplace like that, that to go after that. There's,
Lil,
America.
me, I'm there. You
Hey,
just
let's
you
do
just
it.
tell me and I'm there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it. Look,
There.
we could spin up a marketplace with all kinds of great products, but the key is you got to do the life cycle, right? You got to be able to take that podunk town retailer that the customers want to support, but they want it online. They want to be able to order it online, and you got to give them the engine and give them the products
Right.
at a better
Yeah.
price, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring Kelsey in, Mr. Kels. I'm sure we have a few
Okay.
questions, and Lil's got to take off soon, doesn't she?
Yep. So I think we'll do the wheel of Kelsey when Lil leaves, so we can get right up to the questions, and then Lil, you can
Yep.
just go
Okay.
whenever you're able to.
I forgot
We only have
completely
a couple
about your
questions.
1 o'clock.
Yep. So this is from Marcia. Lil, just new to this work. How can I find out if Amazon collects and remits taxes on our behalf? Is there a link or a number? This also could be for Norm too, I think.
Yep. Sales tax. So Marcia's
Sales
talking
tax.
about sales tax. Yeah, it's a button, right, in Amazon ecom that they'll collect the sales tax for you. Isn't that correct, Norm? They started
Yeah.
collecting sales tax on people's behalf.
Yep. Yeah. And that was interesting because in our Centurion League, Paul Ralphston was on, and he was the main guy that got Amazon has pushed Amazon to do this. He was the guy that got the ball rolling and what was it called? Oh shoot, I forget. But anyways, Paul was on the Centurion League call last week, and he's doing a bunch of other stuff with what's happening with Amazon right now in Washington. But anyways, great guy to follow in the e-com space.
It's a big benefit. I think that it's important that Amazon did that because if you need to pay sales tax, the best way to do it is through TaxJar, and you're going to pay TaxJar, a monthly fee, and then you're going to pay for every state you file. And so it only makes sense that Amazon would aggregate. They already have all the data. Let them file the sales tax. So, but I believe it's a choice, right? So
You know what
Marcia
sucks?
turn it on.
If you are doing e-com, so I have soap, I sell on Amazon. So I thought, oh wow, they're collecting me, oh no problem now. But if I start selling my soap off my e-com platform, now I got to remit those taxes. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind. If you're doing e-com, you've got to remit it's not, Amazon's not going to collect them off of your Shopify store.
Exactly. And just while you hit Shopify, Shopify, there's buttons in the setup there that you can collect sales tax, but there's certain states that until you hit a threshold, you don't have to pay it. But we tell our customers, collect sales tax across the board, whether you are going to remit it or not, collect it so it's there. Once you hit a threshold, then you have to pay in certain states.
Why do they make it so tough?
It is. That's the hardest part of anything, I think, is sales tax.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is from Jason. Do you do bookkeeping for people like us in that barren place in the world called Australia?
Jason, we have customers in Australia, 100%. So typically what we find, we're in 12 other countries, right? Australia, China, Russia, Italy, and they're e-com people or IT managed services businesses that they're usually a Delaware C Corp or a Delaware corporation or Vegas or Wyoming, and they need to take care of their US. So we don't do your bookkeeping for Australia or any other country that you're selling in, but if you're selling on Amazon US, we'd love to have you. So, and Australia is one of my favorite places.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, 2 more questions and we're good to go. How does bookkeeping for e-commerce differ from retail or professional office bookkeeping in the context of QuickBooks user with a brilliant accountant? From Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, I love it. I love the name, Jessica Rabbit. So bookkeeping for e-commerce is 1,000% different than any other bookkeeping. And the reason being is the integrations. So a lot of the stuff is the same, right? You're selling a product, you have profit, you have, general overhead, but most accountants don't understand all the integrations. So for instance, if you have PayPal and you don't have it set up properly, it could increase your revenue by double and you don't even realize it. So there's the nuances of the integrations.
Okay, and we got one. Victor.
You might want to, just one thing, Kels, fee structures too. Understanding the fee structures and how they integrate into QuickBooks or Xero or any of the other.
Okay, great. From Victor, Lil, what is your opinion of A2X to Xero?
So we love A2X and we love Xero. So we believe Xero is a better platform for e-com businesses versus QBO. Both work, and our software, our platform, we wrap around both. But Xero, we think, is a leader when it comes to e-com just because of the integrations. A2X, the deal with A2X is it can get pretty costly for you. So understand why you want to use A2X, but it's a great product. If you want to have an understanding of refunds and all down to the transaction level, then it's important. But watch it because the cost can get really high.
Okay, we have one question just sneak in. This will be the last one. From Gideon, what are the best states to open an LLC for Amazon sellers that don't live in the USA?
Yeah, definitely Delaware, Wyoming, or Nevada. Any one of those 3. And
Wyoming's the cheapest.
Yeah. What country are you in, Gideon?
Yeah, Gideon, if you want to let us know. I think Israel, I believe.
Love it. Gideon, join us. I'd love to have an Israel company. Amazing technology in Israel. So.
All right. So I think that's it. I did notice Paul had a comment. He said that he was able to make an extra $10,000 in June selling on Farrar to micro wholesalers.
Yeah, Farrar is a great platform. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. So Gideon is from Israel. But that's it for questions.
So you do have time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
Perfect. And guys, I appreciate you having us on. You know what? You're always so good to us, and it's always so much fun to jump on with you guys. I love your show, and
Thank you.
It's just so much fun. So what you're doing for the community out there is amazing.
Thanks. Well, and you're so easy to talk to, Lil. Man, we could have sat down for hours last night.
And you'll be back for the holiday party.
Boat party.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
You may need
so Lil, if you need to get going at any point, just feel free to leave. But this might be a little couple. Okay. All right. So I'll just jump on this right now. So Lil, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but this is our Wheel of Kelsey. Enjoy.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right. And who's going to win the wheel today? The consult.
All right, just double checking, make sure everyone's got in. I believe so. All right, so this is for the consult. Please email me at k@lunchwithnorm.com if you are the winner. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Wheel of
And Lil's
Kelsey.
going to make her 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Maybe.
I love this.
All right,
Amar.
a member of
Congrats,
our
Amar.
Patreon too. Awesome.
Perfect. So Kels, if you would, when they email you, just do a joint with us, and then I'll get them scheduled with our head of tax to chat tax.
Okay.
Ask them to let us know, do they want to talk tax or do they just want to talk business with me? Either way. But
Okay,
they want to talk
perfect.
tax. Okay, and I'll put them with our director of tax.
Lil,
Okay, awesome.
thank you so much for coming on. I know you have to run right now, but I appreciate it, and we'll hope to see you back on the podcast in a couple of months.
Would love it. Safe travels, Norms. You guys are amazing. Thanks, Kels. Thanks,
Thank
Norm.
you.
All
See you later.
Thanks, Lil.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, and I guess we didn't have a chance to ask Lil
What are
this,
you doing to
but
me?
to
What are you
get in
doing to me?
contact with Lil, you can visit Xendoo.com. I'm sure there's a contact form there. There's all her services. She's awesome. I love her. Okay, that's all I wanted to
You
say.
gonna let me do my thing now?
Go ahead.
Okay. Man,
Yeah.
at least when I'm back home, I can slap you upside the head. Well, no, because you're in the other room, but I can give these vibes in the house.
Touches.
No, you're not going to dodge them either. So here's what I have to say. On Friday, we've got a returning guest, Steve Stelikoff, and we're going to be talking about Amazon businesses versus independent reach, which we kind of on today, but it's going to be an interesting topic. A lot of us don't think of it, but there is another incredible way to make money through these independent retailers. And Steven wrote the book on it, so he'll probably even talk about his book. I'm serious. Literally, he wrote the book on it.
I think we actually,
also,
as a giveaway, he's going to be doing that as well. He's
he's
giving away
gonna give away his
100
book?
copies of his book. I think so.
And Roz, I saw Jessica Rabbit, okay?
Yeah.
She bought his book, I believe, and she said it was a really great read. But anyways, wanted to talk about our sponsor. Our sponsor, Club just sold to GoDaddy yesterday. So I brought it to you live. It was a live event. I was at my office is in the Club building. And all of a sudden, I heard the news that it was actually signed off yesterday. But here's the reason. It's a community. I talk about it all the time. I love .clubs. If you can get a .com, great. But in some cases, .clubs would beat a .com. However, in most cases, equity is in the .com. But you can't beat a community, and that's what it's all about today in today's world. If you've got a brand and you want to build a community, .club is a great idea. If you're on Clubhouse, .club is a great idea. So they gave me a two-liner to talk about, and I'm supposed to say it, and I've never said it because I just believe in the bloody domain. I have a lot of them. Everybody knows my brands: cigar.club, soap.club, whatever.club. I've got tons of them. And I don't have a lot of .coms because I want to build communities. Anyways, kind of keep that in mind. If you are looking for a .club, you can go to GoDaddy or Namecheap or wherever and get them for like $1 something the first year. All right, so enough said on that. Anything else, Kels?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Simon had a quick question. I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer this, but can I open an LLC if I have a dormant S Corp? He's in the UK.
Ooh.
Yeah,
where we can ask that?
Off.
Ask it in the group, and we'll get
Okay.
one of the lawyers to talk about that.
Okay,
I
great.
hate to take that one on and give you legal advice, and then you come back and I don't even have enough to buy razors to shave my head.
All right, so thank you so much, everyone, joining today.
You got that right, Kels?
I understand.
The lawsuit, I wouldn't have enough razors to shave my head. I have to grow my hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, let's go.
But yes, if you haven't already, please join our Facebook group. This going across right here, it's Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and Ecommerce Collective. It's a great place for community. That's where everything is. You can comment, leave questions for me or Norm or anyone in the community, and we love to answer. Throw in your memes about Norm, about how he looks like Gandalf, how he looks like Santa Claus, how he looks like the Travelocity Norm. It's always great to see. But yes,
Does your voice
also
get on your nerves too?
we have our Patreon as well. That is our paid membership program. The easiest way to check it out is the lunchwithnorm.com website, and just hit the paid membership area, and that'll take you to the screen with all the details. There's Q&A sessions with me and Norm. There's guest lessons, like for August. We have Michael Kurtz coming on to talk about branding your e-commerce website and consistency and all about that. So it's going to be really cool. It's just a small group. I'm just seeing Simon's comments here come up. But yeah, check it out if you're interested. Of course, thank you, everyone. I saw we have some new users here today. I saw Joe L coming on. Also, it's always great to see Stan, Jessica Rabbit, Faye, Amar, Simon, Marsha. We had so many people today. I don't want to miss anyone, but I'm sure.
And just one thing to the new
too.
users, Kelsey is always this annoying, so
get used to it.
Get used to it.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's it. Also, Apple Lobby did a whole new live today. I put it into the group. So if you're looking on guide to packaging and some information about how to protect your products, that's a great resource to check out.
He's great.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe this too.
I don't want him to take over my podcast or compete with my podcast. All right, everybody.
But yeah, anyways, for YouTube, if you want to catch all the episodes, hit that subscribe button. It's really important. Make sure you get all the notifications. Also, if you ring that bell, and if you see the 3 dots in the Facebook page or the Facebook group, hit those, press push notifications, and you'll get all the updates. And I'm just going to ignore high five. Oh, wait.
It's not high five.
All right, I'm done. I'm finished.
Good. Get out of here. All right, everybody. Join us. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much for joining us today, for putting up with Kelsey. And we will see you next week. I'm going to be home for the first time in 3 weeks in my own podcast booth. I can't believe it. I'm going to be so happy. All right. And we'll talk to you soon. Now, Kelsey, are you going to be able to hit the music? Hit the button.
Want me to delay it and make it a little awkward for you?
It's only going to be awkward on you, buddy.
I'm fine.
Push the bloody button.
Lunch with the